presenter this evening. Are you ready, Shell?
Hey.
You ready?
Y'all a tough crowd. I need y'all to wake up.
Yeah. The question is, are you ready for Shelly?
Oh my goodness.
So, thank you for being here, Shelly.
You're welcome.
You let her know what's up.
I know. Look, how many of y'all drove from Olympia to be in Bellevue tonight? I'm just gonna say that. I mean, I know I got 5 minutes. I might roll into my Q&A. First of all, what you're not gonna do is not ask me questions. I'm gonna just go ahead and put that out there already. You know, I mean, that's dead silence. That's like death almost. It was so quiet. I'm like, come on, you know. But thank y'all so much. I'm glad to be here. My name is Shelly Willis. I am a veteran, 25-year veteran. I served in the United States Army for 25 years, and I retired. I'm here with our VP, Evelyn Tuliana. She served 20 years in the United States Army as well. And, you know, what we found ourselves in is a space of when I retired from the Army in 2013, and I was able to go into the workforce. A lot of the things and different topics and things that we started talking about over the last 3 or 4 years weren't things that I was aware of, weren't things that I had words for, weren't things that I knew to address. And what we found ourselves doing is going into spaces just like this. This has nothing to do with tech, nothing at all to do with tech. This is really all about understanding a community of people who have been targeted as a demographic to hire, to be campaigned, to be tokenized, to be utilized. And that it also includes our military spouse community. And so when I think about being able to have opportunities to come into spaces that are not where we would normally be at some veteran-focused event, some huge hiring event. And I want all of you right now to just close your eyes. Just do a little exercise with me. Close your eyes. Close your eyes, and if I were to ask you to tell me what you see when you think about a veteran, just take a moment and just visualize what does a veteran look like to you if you are, you know, just thinking about it randomly. Now open your eyes. Somebody tell me real quick, what did you see when you closed your eyes and thought about what a veteran was? Yes, ma'am. Potential, right? Yes, ma'am. A man. There we go. Now we're going somewhere. What else? What else? Yes, sir.
I saw you.
You saw me? Well, thank God for that. Amen. What did you see there? Commitment. Okay, that's great. You were going down the highway I wanted you to go down. When we go into spaces and you see panelists and you see events, normally you see a white male, right? That's honest. Or you see an amputee. So the wounds are visible. And so it's either a white male, it's an amputee, multiple experiences around me being in a room with my fellow veterans and having to say, I'm a veteran too. And it's just because of the visuals and the things that we have to actually portray. And so when we think about the journey that we take, we think about it from the fact of imposter syndrome. But we all suffer from imposter syndrome. But magnify that. I'm coming from a culture that is completely different from what you know. You're not aware of it unless maybe you're service connected or maybe you know someone, but it's not like they sit around and they talk to you about what their time in service was like, because that's not a conversation I want to have at work or in my general life. I just, you know, I serve my country. And there is no like statistical data really that's true on who actually suffers from it. We all do, right? We all, in some point in our life, feel like we're not worthy to be in the spaces that we're supposed to be in, right? Now just multiply that towards the fact that I'm coming from the military, a completely different culture. It's an institutionalized culture where I was structured, it was hierarchical, I knew everything I needed to know, people told me what to do, where to go, I was invested in that, and while you slept at night, we were protecting the land, the air, and the seas. And we were not identifying ourselves, in particularly as women, we were actually identifying ourselves as soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen. I didn't really address myself as a woman unless I needed to, or once I got out, I got to say, dang, who the heck is she? Well, damn girl, how you doing? Welcome to the world. And so you're in a new space, and you've created it's like a whole different person. But you know in the journey that I've been on that we are intentional about where we want to be. So when you think about your service members or your military members in your organizations, They don't want to sit around and chop it up with you too much. I forgot to put my one up. But they want to be able to be in a safe space. Those employee resource groups are important. They create safe spaces for you. But someone talked earlier about retaining talent. I love the fact that we have targeted demographics and ways to hire our military community, our spouses and our service members, our veterans after they transition out. But I like to talk about the after party. I want to talk to you about how long did they stay. 2/3 of the individuals who get their first job don't stay at their first job. But what have you done to create a culture and community for them to stay and retain that talent? So when I think about what a veteran looks like and what you should talk about when you think about what a veteran looks like, or when people are out there portraying photos and things like that, here's a good photo for you to show them. These are what veterans look like. These are women who serve. We have a male ally this year, and so this was our 2020 calendar photo shoot because we want you to see us different. We want you to know what we look like, where we sit, where we live, where we breathe, and that we are some badass people. But most of all, you got some badass women. All right, I hope I can curse. I'm sorry. You know, and I just want to. We want to be that face, and we want to be able to come into spaces like this. We'll come to you. We'll go wherever you need us to be, so we can talk to you about changing your culture and creating a safe space, and investing in knowing and wanting to understand and gain knowledge about what veterans really look like, what our real challenges really are. And when you talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, you cannot isolate a class of people. You can't talk about white privilege, wage gap, and employee resource groups all the daggone time. There's a whole lot of conversation around that. But you need to be able to create conversation and create moments where you can talk about the people that are impacted by the DE&I and why it even exists in the first place. So, with that being said, my name is Shelly Willis. I want to help you continue to gain wisdom. Thank you. Any questions? I already want you. I need questions. Yes, sir.
You mentioned challenges. So what is the number one challenge?
There are no number one challenges. We're individuals. We all have our own set of challenges. We don't get to own PTS. That's not ours known in the first place. That's people with car crashes and suffer from traumas. Heck, somebody, depending on where you grew up, they suffer from PTSD. But society has gifted us that to us, and we've owned it. And yes, that is an issue, but it's an unseen thing. Things start to manifest over time, but that's not what you need to be thinking about. Is a challenge. I'm an individual. I come with an amazing amount of skills and abilities. I want to work for you. I am coming to be a culture add, not a culture fit. And I have something that I can bring to you, and you have something that you can bring in, give to me. So let's partner. Let's talk about that and see where I can come and work for you or with you. Doesn't matter. Yes. Any questions? Any more questions? Yes, sir.
How can startups help?
So there's a lot of different organizations like Bunker Labs, Code Fellows, who have they have different startup, veteran-focused entrepreneurship programs. The Vibe at University of Washington Tacoma have entrepreneurial veteran-focused programs. So you can look at those veteran-focused entrepreneurial programs and be a mentor. Help them understand the challenges they're going to go through. We're always looking for mentors, and not so much a monetary investment, but there are a lot of organizations out there that really would like to have your voices at the table to talk about your challenge. Transition is not synonymous with the military, but our transitions are different. And then to multiply that from the 1% that serve to being a woman that serves, we have no idea of the challenges we're going to face when we get out. That's a whole other conversation that I need like 50 minutes to have with you. And some coffee or something. Yes, one more question? Anybody else? All right, well, I appreciate you all giving us time in this space. I'd love to connect with you later, and I thank you so much for allowing me to have an audience here.